Hey everyone, it's EcoSpace and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving deep into the world of real estate, but not in the way you might think. We're not talking about cap rates or cash flow. Instead, we're tackling something even more fundamental to your success as an investor, and honestly, even more important if you're just buying or selling your own home. Property documents in Karnataka, specifically Bangalore. Look, I've seen it time and time again. People jumping into real estate transactions without fully understanding the paperwork. They get burned, lose money, and end up in legal battles they never saw coming. That's why I'm partnering with EcoSpace to bring you this comprehensive guide. Whether you're a seasoned investor or a first-time homebuyer, this video is your ultimate checklist to ensure you're protected and informed every step of the way. We're breaking down everything from government approvals to ownership documents and even those hyperlocal documents specific to Karnataka. So grab a pen and paper because you're going to want to take notes on this one. All right, let's kick things off with the most crucial aspect of any property purchase: government approvals. These aren't just bureaucratic hoops to jump through. They're your guarantee that the property is legal, safe, and built to code. First up, you've got your local development authority approvals. In Bangalore, that's going to be BBMP, BMRDA, BDA, or ADA, depending on the area. These approvals mean the layout plan has been scrutinized and given the green light, so you don't end up with nasty surprises down the line. Next, we have the holy grail of property documents, the commencement certificate, or CEC. This little piece of paper is like the birth certificate of a building, proving that the builder has obtained all the necessary permissions to start construction. No CC, walk away, it's that simple. Now, once the building is up, you need to check for the floor's approval and occupancy certificate, OC. The floor's approval ensures that the builder hasn't gone rogue and added extra floors, while the OC confirms that the building is safe for occupancy and meets all building codes. Don't even think about moving into a property without a valid OC. But wait, there's more. You also want to see the RERA registration certificate. RERA, or the Real Estate Regulatory Authority, was established to bring transparency and accountability to the industry. A registered project means the builder has to follow stricter guidelines, and you have a place to file complaints if things go south. Before we move on, let's not forget about the building plan approval. This document outlines the entire construction plan, including the number of floors, apartment layouts, and amenities. Make sure it matches what the builder has promised and what you see on the ground. Finally, you'll want to check for various no objection certificates, or NOCs, from different government departments like the Fire Department, Pollution Control Board, and the Electricity Board. These NOCs ensure that the building complies with all safety and environmental regulations. Remember, getting these approvals and certificates isn't just about ticking boxes. It's about protecting your hard-earned money and ensuring a smooth, legally sound transaction. Don't cut corners here. All right, now that we've covered the government side of things, let's dive into the documents that establish ownership and legality. These are crucial for proving that the property is actually yours and there are no hidden claims or disputes. First and foremost, we have the sale deed. This is the most important document in any real estate transaction. It's the legal document that transfers ownership from the seller to the buyer. Make sure it's registered at the Sub-Registrar's office and check every detail carefully, from the property description to the sale price. But the sale deed is just the tip of the iceberg. You also need to trace back the chain of ownership through the mother deed. This document establishes the origin of the property title and shows all the previous owners. It's like a family tree for your property. Now let's talk about the General Power of Attorney, or GPA. This document allows someone to act on your behalf in legal and financial matters related to the property. GPAs can be tricky, so it's crucial to consult a lawyer and understand the implications before signing anything. If you're buying a property in a joint venture or development project, you'll likely come across a Joint Development Agreement, or JDA. This agreement outlines the rights and responsibilities of the landowner and the developer. Again, legal counsel is essential here. Another important document is the relinquishment deed. This is used when someone, usually a family member, gives up their rights to the property in favor of another person. It's often used in inheritance cases. Now let's move on to the Khata Certificate and Khata Extract. These documents are unique to Karnataka and provide details about the property, including its size, location, and ownership. They're essential for obtaining loans and registering the property. Finally, we have the Encumbrance Certificate, or EC. This document is like a financial history report for the property. It reveals any existing loans, mortgages, or legal disputes related to the property. A clear EC is crucial for a hassle-free transaction. Remember, these ownership and legal documents are the backbone of your real estate investment. Don't take any shortcuts here. Get everything verified by a legal professional to avoid future headaches. All right, we've covered the big picture legal stuff, but now let's zoom in on the documents that are specific to the site and layout of your property. These are all about making sure the boundaries are clear, the land use is legit, and you're not buying into any hidden surprises. First up, we have the village maps. These might seem old school, but they're still relevant today. They show the location of your property within the village boundaries and can help verify if there are any discrepancies with the layout plan. Next, we have the Akarband, Hissa Tipani and Hissa Atlas. These documents are specific to Karnataka and provide detailed information about the land, its history of ownership, and any subdivisions that have taken place. Think of them as the property's DNA. Now, if you're buying land that's being converted from agricultural to non-agricultural use, you need to make sure you get your hands on the DC conversion certificate. This document proves that the land has been legally converted for residential or commercial use. And of course, no property document checklist would be complete without the survey sketch and Tipani. These documents are prepared by a licensed surveyor and show the exact boundaries of your property. They're essential for preventing boundary disputes with your neighbors. Remember, these site and layout specific documents might seem like minor details, but they can make a huge difference in the long run. Don't underestimate their importance. Chapter 4, Post-Construction Documents. Making sure your dream home isn't a nightmare. Okay, you've navigated the world of government approvals, ownership documents, and site-specific details. Now, let's fast forward to the point where the building is complete, or at least supposedly complete. This is where the post-construction documents come into play, ensuring that what you see is really what you get. Remember that occupancy certificate we talked about earlier? Well, it's back and more important than ever. This is your golden ticket to actually moving into the property. It certifies that the building is complete, safe, and meets all building codes. Don't even think about taking possession without it. Next up, you have the Site Release Order. This document is issued by the local development authority and essentially releases the land for the construction of the building. It's important to check that this order is in place and that there are no outstanding dues or violations. Finally, you'll want to see the work order and completion certificate. These documents provide a detailed breakdown of all the construction work that's been done, including the materials used and the cost. It's a good way to verify that the builder has followed the approved plans and hasn't cut corners. Remember, just because a building looks finished from the outside doesn't mean it's actually ready for prime time. These post-construction documents are your insurance policy against shoddy workmanship, hidden defects, and legal headaches down the line. Make sure you get them all. Chapter 5. Tax and dispute clearances. The last thing you want is a surprise tax bill. All right, we're in the home stretch. You've almost made it through the gauntlet of property documents, but there are a few more crucial pieces to the puzzle: tax and dispute clearances. These documents prove that the property is squeaky clean with no outstanding dues or legal battles waiting to erupt. First up, you've got your tax-paid receipts. These are pretty self-explanatory. They prove that all property taxes have been paid up to date. You don't want to inherit someone else's tax liability, so make sure these receipts are in order. Next, let's talk about the Bhumi Dispute Case Reports. Bhumi is the land records system in Karnataka, and this report will reveal any ongoing or past legal disputes related to the property. A clear report gives you peace of mind that you're not buying into a legal nightmare. Speaking of legal nightmares, you will also want to check for any court stay information. A court stay prevents any transactions on the property until the legal matter is resolved. It's basically a giant red flag, so steer clear. Now let's move on to the RTC, or Record of Rights, Tenancy and Crops. This document is crucial for agricultural land and provides details about the land ownership, tenancy rights and crops grown on the land. If you're buying agricultural land, this one's non-negotiable. Finally, you have the mutation register. This document records any changes in ownership of the property, whether it's through sale, inheritance, or gift. It's essential for maintaining accurate land records. Remember, these tax and dispute clearances are your last line of defense against inheriting someone else's problems. They might seem tedious, but trust me, they're worth the effort. A clean slate is a priceless thing in the world of real estate. Chapter 6. Additional important documents. The devil's in the details. All right, we've covered a lot of ground, but before we wrap things up, I want to touch on a few additional documents that can be important depending on your specific situation. These might not apply to every transaction, but they're worth knowing about, just in case. First up, we have notices from various bodies. We talked about NOCs from government departments earlier, but you might also need them from the society or apartment association if you're buying a flat. These NOCs ensure a smooth transition and prevent any issues with the society's rules and regulations. Next, if you're dealing with inherited property, you'll need to gather the family tree and death certificate of the deceased owner. These documents establish the legal heirs and their rights to the property. Inheritance laws can be complex, so it's best to consult a lawyer to navigate this process. Another document you might come across is the Index of Lands. This document provides a summary of all the land parcels registered in a particular village or area. It's useful for verifying ownership and identifying any potential issues with the property title. Finally, if you're looking for a more detailed understanding of the land, you can request a survey tipani. This document provides a comprehensive survey of the land, including its boundaries, topography, and any existing structures. It's a valuable tool for planning construction or development on the land. Remember, these additional documents might not be on everyone's checklist, but they can be crucial in certain situations. It's always better to be over-prepared than under-prepared when it comes to real estate transactions. Phew! We covered a ton of information today. From government approvals to hyper-local Karnataka documents, you're now equipped with the knowledge to navigate real estate transactions like a pro. Remember, these documents are your protection, your peace of mind, and your key to a smooth and successful real estate journey. Don't let all this overwhelm you, though. Take it one step at a time, do your due diligence, and don't be afraid to ask questions. A good real estate agent and a trusted lawyer are your best allies in this process. And hey, if you found this video helpful, do me a favor and hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more real estate tips and tricks. Until next time, stay informed, stay vigilant, and as always, thanks for watching.